All right, everyone, going to be getting into another PGA DFS video touching on the top bets and picks here for the ZOZO Championship. But first, just a quick recap from last week. Gave you guys 6 picks. 4 of them ended up making the cut. The 2 players that missed the cut were 2 players that are pretty high owned, Adam Schenk and Tom Hoge. That is the issue with Fall Golf. I've mentioned this a bunch already. Is that it's a little bit more unpredictable, a little bit higher variance. That being said, did give you guys Chesson Hadley as a player that I said probably going to be in contention on Sunday, but also not going to be someone that wins. It gives you a good cash out opportunity off of that bet. I did call him out as a top 20 bet at 2.9 to 1. Hopefully you guys are able to take advantage of that. Speaking of the winner, Tom Kim, #1 player in the 905 model. We got Adam Hadwin, Eric Cole, JT Poston, all players as well that were top 10 in the 905 model. So a good week for the model. It was actually a pretty kind of comfortable week in terms of cashing as well. Round 2 showdown was very profitable. Was able to take down a showdown there as well. So fall series golf, very good stuff. Kind of casually good stuff that we're having thus far. We look at some other bets that I was on. Adam Svensson didn't have the best Sunday. I thought he's someone that could have potentially shot up the leaderboard, had a chance to win, still finished T18. We'll take that. I recommended that as a bet at 2 to 1. Other players I was on, Chad Ramey and Davis Thompson. Thompson finishing 35th, Chad Ramey finishing 46th. So looking at this week, it is going to be the ZOZO Championship, which is going to be a no-cut event. And the thing with no-cut events, as probably most of you guys know by now, is that we have learned over the years that you just need to be going a studs and duds approach. So there are a bunch of studs that we can end up on that are really going to be good plays, starting with Kyle Morikawa, Xander Schauffele. Heck, Xander Schauffele going to be the class of the field. If you want to end up on him, by all means, go for it. Talk about like the key stats I'm looking at this week, guys. Birdie or better, strokes gained approach, ball striking, strokes gained tee to green. These were all key stats last year that I was on. Now it is in Japan. Like we don't typically have the shot link data, thus we don't know exactly what the key stats are going to be. That being said, we were on Keegan Bradley as a top 12 play last year, who ended up winning. Hideki was an outright bet the year prior to that, so it has kind of been a fruitful event in that regard. But you guys can see Xander, Ricky, those are going to be decent plays. We also have Keegan right there. That's going to be a good play. I actually want to start from kind of the bottom to the top, so let's talk about some kind of value plays that I think are kind of standing out to me. So based off of my Twitter feed early on, and guys, this will probably change, but you never know, Ryo is looking like he's going to be pretty chalky for a value play, which makes sense. It's a no-cut event. He's from Japan. People want to be targeting that. I get it. He also, has played this course before. 51st place finish then. We look at his last 2 starts on the PGA Tour, 63rd and 31st place finish. I get that. I'm going to go a different route. If I'm trying to chase that narrative, I'm probably going with Cadera, who has, he hasn't played terribly. I mean, look at these starts. This is going to be good for a no-cut event where we know we're going to get 4 rounds. A guy that can go on and score. Okay, Sanderson Farms, not the best, but even par, we'll take that, especially when we get that 4 rounds at this price tag. The Fortnite Championship, good results there. Top 30 finish, -7 there. We look at the Korn Ferry Tour start. I don't care about that. We look at his starts here at this tournament: 16th, 57th, and 37th. So 2 out of the 3 times he's played this tournament, he has given us a desirable result in regards to his price tag. Remember, with this no-cut events, what we want to be doing is we want to be targeting these value plays that are going to exceed their price tag. That way, when we pay up for the studs that are likely to win top 5, we are gaining an edge on the field. Now, another play that I think could potentially be sneaky here is going to be Trevor, who, if you guys remember, kind of at the tail end of last season, he was someone that was casually popping up as like the epitome of a shoulder shrug play, where if you're closing out your build and you saw him, you're like, that's fine. He gave us a good chance on a lot of made cuts at a cheap price tag. And I feel like he's going to be someone that gives us a good chance at returning a desirable result. Once again, finishing better than his price tag. And he has been someone that has been able to score thus far. Now, Fortnite Championship, bad results there. We see that. Okay, bad tournament for him there. Sanderson's Farms, -4 was able to score. Shriners, T56, not great, but was able to score there. So not a terrible play. Not elite. Don't get me wrong there either. Then we look at another value play. We're starting to get a little bit more pricey, but I think Zach Blair is kind of popping up as a really good play there as well. He's another guy where, no-cut events, we don't really have to worry about these 1 bad rounds or 2 bad rounds for that matter as well. They kind of get to play a little bit more loosely, and we can see 3 good starts in that regard where at least he's been able to score. And so he is someone that I do think gives us a really good chance at being able to finish better than his price tag. Someone that people are probably going to be looking at as well. Don't want to butcher his name, but he had a 39th place finish at this tournament 2 years ago. Do want to call out that we're not having course history for the 2021 season, where it was actually taking place in the USA due to COVID. yeah, we're not looking at that. And then just two more down in this price tag range that I want to call out. Kevin Yu, he has been someone that really fits the mold of a player that I really don't mind targeting. And because he's been kind of a DFS letdown lately, people are probably going to be avoiding him. But why is that coming? Well, one, because he can't freaking make a putt, but two, because he's having one bad round in there. Like, he has been someone that really pops in these rounds. Probably makes for a good showdown play for that matter as well. But since we don't have to worry about him missing the cut, he's going to be someone that at least is probably going to give us a bunch of birdies, and it's probably going to be someone that gives us a fantasy score that's going to outproduce his price tag. This is a value play that I think makes a lot of sense, just given his ability to score. And don't get me wrong, it's been ugly lately, but you look at like birdie or better percentage, stroke gain approach, ball striking, he ranks out really well in all those, especially compared to the field. Harry Hall is kind of a shoulder shrug play as well, for what it's worth. Mackenzie Hughes is someone that I really think has a great chance to outproduce his price tag. He is someone that I think I'm currently going out of my way to play. He finished 23rd at this event last year, fourth year prior to that. Has he been playing great golf lately? No. But has been terrible? No. He's someone that I do think is going to give us a good chance at finishing better than his price tag. And then lastly, I think we just have to be looking at KH Lee as well, who does have course history. Not a good finish at this tournament last year, finishing 59th. The year prior to that, 18th. Is coming off of a really good finish last week. Certainly someone that can pop. And then, heck, why not one more? Sam Ryder has been playing extremely well this fall as well. We look at his course history, 36th and 7th. So he's been someone that has been able to do enough to outproduce his pricing. We look at Sam Ryder, he's actually ranking out top 15 or top 16 in the 9-5 model, coming in as the 16th best play. So another player that's probably going to be a very good play. So it just kind of ends, the players that you're targeting is going to depend on how you are closing out your build. And that's why I'm giving you guys all those options. Those are going to be the players I'm looking at. So now let's go ahead and get into the top end. I do want to call out Xander Schauffele. Xander is coming in as the class of the field. We know that he is someone that typically just does well on these no-cut events. We can see event history wise, 9th, 28th, 10th. So he gives us a good chance at a top 10 finish. Key stat wise, he ranks out top 5 in two of the key stats that we're looking at: birdie or better percentage and stroke gain approach. Recent form has not been the best. That's going to be the worry with him. That being said, he is typically someone that does produce in those events in which he has played well at prior. And let's try to find some bets there for Xander Schauffele. Get him first round lead at 16-1. Those aren't terrible odds. Outright wise, the odds are getting worse, 7-1. Yeah, we're probably staying away from that. Yeah, maybe it's just someone we look at to get hot for a first round lead. From there, I want to talk about Cameron Davis. He has been someone that has been playing much better lately. So Davis this fall has really played well. Fortnite Championship 7th, DP Tour, whatever. Don't really care too much about that, although will that translate again this week? You know, we have to worry about those players traveling, but he's finished 3rd and 7th. So really good stuff there from him. We pull him up here. Everything is suggesting that he should have a fine week. Now, he only is coming in as the 14th best pick in the 9-5 model. I personally think he's going to be a better play than that. And he is someone that I wouldn't mind probably putting outright on, especially if we can get him at, 25-1 on Bovada if you're someone that bets there. 22-1 on DraftKings is a very good bet there as well. For some of these other sites, we're not getting in everything else, but I would say really a top 10 bet, not out of the equation, especially in a lower field event or a lesser amount of players event. I do think he has a good chance to give us, top 10. We're probably not going to get in top 20 bets really per se that we want to be attacking, but you could get that about 0.8 to 1. Now, I do want to mention Eric Cole, because if you look at him, he's going to be a player that is just really standing out stat fit wise. Like, geez, coming in as the 3rd best stat fit. We look at the specialist data that we have coming in for this week, 5th best there, 1st best in recent form. I mean, he has been playing extremely well. The worry with him is that going to be his first time playing at this event, and really probably his first time really traveling, I'm assuming, especially to an event like this. We will see. You never know. I don't expect him to win because of that. I'm kind of worried about that, but maybe someone that could give you guys a top 10. I don't really see a bet that I love per se with him. I think he makes for a better DFS play than he does for like a bet. I will say though, 1.2 to 1 to top 20 does feel like a pretty strong bet. And now probably my favorite outright bet is going to be Tagala to win this week. And the only worry would be that he is coming in off of a victory. At the same time, he fits the mold for someone I typically like to outright bet. Strong recent form. He had a little bit of a lackluster part of his season in there. That's fine. You look at the specialist data, 3rd best specialist in the field. We look at the course history, 5th place finish here last year. Pretty good stat fit. I like how his game sets up for this type of event. And so when I say like he's probably my favorite outright bet. I mean, like numbers wise that we're still getting for him. 20-1 seems like a pretty good number for him. Heck, even to like top 10, 2-1 still feels like a pretty good number that we are getting there, especially given the field. We know he's going to be someone that's going to go out and score. It makes for a good DFS option. Then the last player I want to mention is going to be Keegan Bradley. It's going to be very difficult not to at least give Keegan Bradley a look, given his tremendous course history that he's had. 1st, 7th, and 13th. Really good stuff there. Now Hideki as well. Last year, I believe he was dealing with a little bit of back injury. Look at Ricky, played well at this tournament as well. But given the price tag of Keegan, I like that a little bit more. Now the form is not as good from him, but it's not terrible. 31st, 29th, 43rd for his recent events. We look at all the metrics. 9th best specialist, 3rd in course history, ranked 4th best stat fit in the field. Okay. Recent form could be better though. 21st in the field. Overall, a top 5 pick this week. Then we look at Keegan Bradley here, guys. 22-1 to win. We're coming off of Tom Kim just defending his championship tournament, winning back-to-back. I don't know if I'm going to see that happen 2 weeks in a row. It's kind of tough to see that, but maybe you like him to top 10 at 2.1 to 1. Then other picks I do like, guys, just like DraftKings wise, Adam Svensson, Bo Hosler, I like their price tags. They're players that we've been able to trust. JJ Spawn is looking like a pretty good play as well. Tom Hoagie's a player that had a bunch of 3 double bogeys. You don't expect that to happen again. He is someone that I think could have a better bounce back week. Joel Damon's definitely an interesting click as well at his price tag 16th at this event last year. So is Cameron Champ. He's an interesting click as well. Like, we have a lot of decent plays this week. Just got to make some lineup decisions somewhere, right? So it's going to make kind of a first look build for you guys, and then I'll be getting out of here. So for me, I'm probably just going Cameron Davis, Keegan, Tagala, Cole, and then like we still have a ton of salary left over to really make whichever builds we want work with those values that I mentioned. Like if you guys like Kevin Yu, if you think he's going to be someone that can score, by all means play him. We got Harry Hall there, Mackenzie Hughes. Like I'm perfectly fine with a build like this. This is going to be my natural build process for this week. But that's going to be all for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the coverage. If you guys want access to the 9to5 cheat sheet or all the 9to5 fantasy golf tools, make sure to be clicking the link in the description below. Just available for $10 a month. Best value in fantasy golf out there. You can't top it. Take advantage of it. That's all. Let's have a good slate. And as always, let's keep cashing.